Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we are back to Loom. So we're playing the CD talkie version. We finally figured out the terror draft, the musical score, so we can walk this way, which is good because we need to learn some more things. So let's figure out what these sheep want me to play.
Hey, you! Get away from here!
So
Now I've got to go and round them all up again.
is that the
And
sheep?
you'd better not be here when I get back.
She played a song that woke him up? Interesting.
Go on now.
So let's try this. So that wasn't where we started.
Guess that isn't a draw.
But it is just 4 notes going down the scale.
I guess that isn't a draft.
Maybe it's not. Maybe it's 3 notes down the scale and then 1 up. I'm so tone deaf.
I guess that isn't a draft.
Let's try this again. Maybe I can't play this because it's
Hey,
not
you!
loud. I'm not high enough.
Get away from here.
I think that might be
Now
the
I've
point.
got to go and round them all up again. And you'd better not be here when I get back.
Of course, the problem is I'm gonna have to find a dying
Go on now.
dying spell because either I remember the solution to this or it's kind of obvious. Right. It would be a very weird fantasy world where even sheep jumping over the fence could
That thread's too
yeah,
high
this
for me.
thread's too high. So let's try this. Let's see.
I guess that isn't a draft.
No, it was one of the first 3 notes, so it couldn't have been that. It's gotta be something like this.
I guess that isn't a draft.
So I could waste some time here, I suppose, and try and figure out what the answer was, but let's just look it up again. Dying is either CCCD, CDCD, or DDCD. So we'll try all these. C, 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 D. That's not the one.
I guess that isn't a draft.
So maybe C, D, C, D. There we go. And now we have some green sheep. Which, now that the sheep are green, let's click on them. And the thought is he won't be able to see him.
Hey, you! Green sheep. Who ever heard of green sheep? How am I supposed to watch sheep that I can hardly see? Go on now.
Let's just click on him.
Poor fella. He must have had a long night.
Let's go this way then. I can't see any other spell unless I'm supposed to do the terror spell on the sheep and cause them to leave me. So let's go this way and see what's down this direction. Hey, we've got a whole nother city and a graveyard cemetery.
Some of these graves are really old.
So we'll turn the graves green.
That draft doesn't seem to work in cemeteries.
Nope, didn't work. So to a new city. What's this one say? It's an invisible shepherd.
Hello there.
Who said that?
I thought she was outside. She is outside.
I did. My name is Fleece, first chosen of the Guild of Shepherds. I wish we had time to chat a while and trade some tales, but we have got a serious problem on our hands.
What sort of trouble are you having?
It seems we've a dragon nearby who has an enormous appetite for fresh mutton. We breed our sheep for extra whiteness, so we cannot keep them on the meadows. She can spot them miles away. By now, the dragon has carried off so many that we may not be able to fill the Clerics' order.
The Clerics? I just saw the bishop at the glassmakers.
Bishop Mandible? He placed the order for 10,000 sheep.
10,000 sheep? That's enough to feed an army.
Yes, that had occurred to us too. You noticed our increased patrol in the forest. We'll deliver the sheep to the Clerics if we can, but we won't trust them.
I suppose fighting the dragon will be out of the question.
Only a mage can save us.
Wow, just cutting the audio to the last second of dialogue. So I can turn.
I see you've noticed my little friend.
She doesn't look at all well.
She isn't, and my songs of healing don't seem to be bringing her much comfort.
Interesting.
I wish I were better with him.
She just sings them out loud. Is that what I'm doing? Am I shouting these things out loud?
That thread's too high for me. I guess that isn't a draft.
Let's listen to this again. It doesn't sound like I
Her
can
eyes
do it.
opened, just a little. Try it again.
That's a really high note. Let's see. This note is lower than what I need to do.
That thread's too high for me.
Let's see, that didn't work. Alright, how about this one? I can turn it green.
Perhaps I shouldn't bother her.
Alright. So we've learned.
The flock is out to pasture. You'll find them there. Go forth, wizard, and may you return safely to our fold.
Alright, so if I go this direction, I have to go this way. Can I walk to the cemetery?
Some of these graves are really old. Some of these graves.
What's the hint with the old? The good news is I can turn all these guys green and say protect myself. Well, I'll protect them.
No, that's not right. They're already white.
Oh, I need to do the opposite. So that should be this, 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 hopefully. And they're all green, good. Here comes the dragon. Oops. This scene in particular in the talking version sounds completely different than the main game. The original game.
Well, what have we here? Oh, that's what comes of being in such a blazing hurry, I guess. I thought you looked a bit scrawny. Why, you'd hardly make a decent kindling.
And so what's funny is there are spells, according to the guide I'm looking at, that are 3rd level spells that I haven't learned. And we are in or near the 4th level of the game, which is okay weird. So let's talk to the dragon.
Have you no manners, lad? Stop staring at me.
Oh, was I staring? So sorry.
Oh, don't mind me, love. I get rather crotchety on an empty stomach.
Does that mean you're going to incinerate me then?
Incinerate you? Oh my, aren't you the foxy one? I haven't created any fire since my last mating season. And you don't want to know how many centuries ago that was. No, that's much too much heat for me these days.
You mean you can't breathe fire?
Can't? Let's just say I won't. Just between you and me, love, the stuff gives me the heebie-jeebies.
So we can look at the gold.
That's quite a bit of gold you have there.
That? Oh, that's nothing compared to what it used to be. Piled floor to ceiling it was. Everyone said it was the most beautiful lair anywhere, and right they were too. Then one day, last spring it was, comes along this third-rate wizard who botched up everything. He tried to get the volcano to blow, but only shook up the place in a huge earthquake instead. Broke all my fancy glass, mind you, and made off with most of the gold, too. The only thing he left me was a gorgeous glass ball.
Interesting. I want to see a glass ball. Can I walk this way? It's just a wall? What's worse, having a path that pans the screen to show you that there's nothing there, or the fact that there's nothing there? I think it's worse to show me and spend the effort to animate these sides when it's clearly here. So we've got to, I assume, do the gold to straw spell, which of course I can't remember. This is the one problem. But I do know it's one of 4 spells, and I need to do it backwards. So let's try E, D, E, D.
I guess that isn't a draft.
Let's try E, C, C, C.
I guess that isn't a draft.
Let's try E, D, D, D.
Put it back the way you found it, now.
So now I can play one more spell. But I don't know what spell I should play. I mean, I could play one more note now, which would let me have the healing spell. But I would have to have remembered the healing spell. Well, I guess the thing there is the healing spell could have been ACCA, it could have been AGGA, and it could have been CAAC. And I think for me it was AGGA. So C, D, E, F, G, A.
It might help to point at something first.
Let's see. A. And then G, G, A. Nope.
I guess that isn't a draft.
But we needed that A. So it must be a CCA. All of these are palindromes again. Back to front. What happened there? A C C A.
That must not be the right draft.
So that does work. Let's try terror. Let's see. D F F D. And do that right. D F F D.
I guess that isn't a draft.
Maybe it's E F F E. That's not right. E F F E. See if this works. Oh yeah, we saw this.
Fire! You haven't heard the last of me, you cheeky brat!
We saw this in the crystal ball. And see, there's nothing here left to do, I suppose. So, wherever the crystal ball may be, it is, at the very least, not. I'm having to do a lot of looking up the combinations, though. The game would be very nice to have unlocked each spell. And if this was a old Maniac Mansion or Secret of Monkey Island Scum VM style game, you could have just put this part a little bit to the left and had a song that scrolled down in different places. So we need to click on darkness and then do the illuminate.
Wonderful. I can't see a thing.
And of course, why would I remember that spell? It's been an hour and a half since I last did that. CDDC, perhaps? And if the game ever decides to force me to do these really quickly, that's game over. It's not going to work for me. And so we've got suppose we might as well walk through here and see what happens. And quite a puzzling area. Seems to imply you have no chance of making it through here without the help of night vision. Well, I found an area. Is this the right area or the wrong area? Can I not illuminate the entire cave? That would be nice. I don't have the ability to make real fire, I don't think. Or I can only make fire if I specifically am in front of somebody who's afraid of fire. Yeah, apparently I made it all the way out. Walk to the right. Some more, apparently.
It appears I can't get there from here.
Let's see, I'm looking. There's nothing to click on. Sneaky little pathway. Let's go this direction. I guess we may not find the crystal ball, and the dragon was just talking about a crystal ball. And I guess I was supposed to.
Guess I won't be going back that way.
Interesting. What's this pool? Yeah, that might have. The dragon may have just been talking about a crystal ball to hint.
My own reflection.
So this is A D A.
That must not be the right draft.
Which is, let's see, a palindrome again. Let's see. So we learned the solution. But we don't really have any other spell. Unless I'm supposed to dye this pool. I mean, we certainly could try it. Let's see. D C D, I don't think is the right one.
I guess that isn't a draft.
I guess it's C D C D.
That must not be the right draft.
And there's a third level spell that we haven't even run into yet. And I guess it doesn't matter. Not yet. Or it is possible. There's nothing over here. Water. What else could we do with water?
My own reflection.
And it's A D
must not be the right draft.
That's some other spell.
That must not be the right draft.
Maybe I'm supposed to do invisibility. So G E E. No, that's not right. What did I just do? What did I just play? I think I did GEED and it emptied the water because that's the emptying spell. I don't even know where I got that combination from or where I learned it. That seems crazy. How can I solve a puzzle that I wasn't even knowing what to do? So this time, I'm seeing several different things. Let's see. This guy.
Bishop Mandible. What in the world is he up to?
Let's see, the first thing it wants me to do. So, back to reflection, I guess? A. DDA. And see, if you wait long enough for him to put his hands down, he stops. And he resets.
Spheres work well enough without drafts, remember?
Well, we've got to dry a hole now.
It's already dry as a bone.
So maybe there was a hole
It's already
I
dry
could
as
have
a
done
bone.
here. But then the question becomes, we could do filling, which should be DEEG.
I guess that isn't a draft.
I guess that wasn't the spell, so it must have been then E. Let's see, E F F G. E F F G. Well, I don't know how we figured out that this was the solution.
My own reflection.
So G F F E. I don't see. And what's funny is that they're saying here that emptying is not required to finish the game. I don't see how
It's
that
already
happens.
dry as a bone.
Where is the other thing to click on then?
It's already dry as a bone.
I have a dry hole, and unless I'm supposed to do something like E, C, E, D to open the hole.
That must not be the right draft.
Or C, D, D, C to get night vision. Sure feels like you just pick up
That
the
must not be the right draft.
sphere. It seems so strange. And we just don't have that yet, do we? Do we possibly have a note that high?
It might help to point at something first.
Maybe we can turn into a swan at this point.
That thread's too high for me.
Yeah, that note's too high. I have no idea what I just cast.
Spheres work well enough without drafts, remember? Bishop Mandible. What in the world is he up to?
What in the world am I supposed to be up to?
It's already dry as a bone.
Well, we've made good progress in the 30 minutes, but I think I am going to have to find a walkthrough now, finally. I've been threatening to do it, but I think we've hit that point where there's no more to it. Like, I'm in this one scene and I cannot figure it out. I don't even have a clue. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.